Singapore, we are starting a little bit slow back in Singapore, but we're working on it because, I'm roping in my Singaporean blogger friends as well because I'm having fun on this platform. Okay, so how many of you know, right, that for social media platforms, you can buy followers, sometimes for as little as $5 on Fiverr.com. How many of you know that you can buy followers? Yeah? So sometimes we see people with a lot of followers on their social media accounts, but does that mean that they're really popular, or does that mean that people really like to find out what they're thinking and sharing? My answer is no. So on MakeMe, right, you can't hide this. Okay, you can't pretend that you have a lot of followers. Why? Okay, as you can see, I have about 139,000 fans on MakeMe. I have to tell you that probably some of them, or a lot of them, are bots. Okay, but second thing you need to look at, which I circled, is called gifts. Okay, and as you can see, it's 17,000 at the time that I took this screenshot. Now it's probably gone up a little bit. All right, so 17,401. What does this mean? Does this mean I'm Santa Claus and I'm sending out gifts to everybody? No, it's the number of gifts that I've received, virtual gifts from my followers. Okay, so for each gift that you send on this platform, MakeMe, you have to pay something between 2 Singapore cents, which is about 5 Malaysian cents, or 13.46 Singapore dollars, which is approximately about 26 or so Malaysian ringgit. So what happens is MakeMe has this profit sharing model. Okay, so as you know, Facebook doesn't pay you, right, for sharing content on your Facebook profile or your page, right? In fact, you have to pay Facebook. Yes, you place ads with Facebook, and then you pay them, to even get content out to your followers. But what MakeMe does, right, is it lets you gauge how popular you are based on the number of gifts that you receive. Okay, so I find this platform is really good for finding out, whether a person is really active and engaging their followers on social media or not. You can't tell really on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, but this is really useful. If people value my content enough to send me virtual gifts that they have to pay real money for, that means they like me quite a bit, right? All right, if not, they wouldn't send me any gifts. It's like you don't send a friend a gift unless that person is someone you really like, okay? So here are some of the celebrities on MakeMe. So this guy is Alan Wu. You probably know him as the host of the Amazing Race Asia. He has way more fans than I do.
If you have a marketing budget, do you spend everything on TV? You don't. Do you spend everything on radio? You don't. That's suicide. Do you spend everything on newspaper? You don't. There is always a media mix. So when you have a media mix of what you're spending on traditional, it should be the same for digital. You have to have budget parked aside for a Twitter campaign. You have to have budget parked aside for a Facebook campaign. And all these campaigns should have a different nature. Why? Because talking about something, a Twitter contest will not work on Facebook. A Facebook contest will not work on Twitter. You simply need to be doing different things on different platforms to reach out to the community that are active within that platform. Okay, I hope I got my message clear. So I'm going to leave you with actually a video. Can the video play? There's actually a video here. You see, I sent the second deck and they did not download it. Yes. Can it play? It can't? I did send a video file. Can Stephanie, can you check? Let them, while they are downloading the video, I'm going to leave this talk with a sample of a video made for Toyota Motors in America, not here, of how a brand actually integrates their brand using YouTubers. Now, YouTubers community around the world has been getting a lot of traction. All right, so what's happening in the media landscape in America for YouTubers is actually now YouTubers are almost as big as celebrities in America. So for example, if an artist is launching a song, okay, if I'm launching a song, what they have now is a network of YouTubers, which they get, okay, 20 YouTubers, I'm going to pay you to cover my song. Why? Because their audience are in tens of millions. And when you cover my song becomes popular. That is how Let It Go, the song by Disney, became so big so fast. Because that song was covered by crazy lots of YouTubers. And do you think it was organically done? If it was organically done, it would have taken them a much longer time to get that song popular. But because Disney actually paid YouTubers to actually cover their song, it became a hit within a week. Okay? So in US, all right, YouTube artists are being given rights by record labels to actually cover songs. Means I can cover your song and I can actually earn rights. I can actually sell the song and actually make money from it. So YouTubers have become a...
Now return the floor back to our MC, Mr. Terence. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, for moderating. I'd like to invite Christopher. Christopher is up front. Come on up, Christopher, and present tokens of appreciation on behalf of the organizers to our panel. I believe only Malacca Boy gets a token. The other two have already received their tokens because they were on various panels.
Mic check. Also to check how many people are still awake and listening. So, Salamat Pagi. Glad to be here. I need who's going to, It's a tough thing to present, extremely last on such a vibrant session, and when Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has done such a great job of talking about social media, I was very, very impressed, by the way. So I've seen world leaders all over the world talking about technology and social media and digital, but I thought Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's talk was amazing. His thoughts were very, very, very up to date, and a lot of learnings for even people much, much younger to him. So what I'm going to talk about is is one of the biggest campaigns that ever happened. But just to give you a perspective, why this was a campaign of a lifetime. We all talk about the 2008, 2012 US elections because it really seeded the concept of digital and technology in election news, in electoral politics, and in general in policy and public life. The election in India, which happened last year, May, actually around this time the elections were going on, and they concluded on the 12th of May, the results came out on 16th of May, have been the biggest democratic elections ever. And to give you a perspective in numbers, India has a population of just about 1.25 billion people, 820 million voters, spread over the length and breadth of India, which speaks 22 languages. Now, that's a very important point. 22 languages. Official languages are 22. Out of the 820 million, 550 million people actually went out and voted. The voting percentage was perhaps the highest in many, many years. And the younger generation, the generation which is connected using social and digital media, had a lot of role to play in that. Out of the 550, Prime Minister, to every individual saying, hey, Arvind, tomorrow is a big day for India. It's not a big day for me, big day for the country. It's a big day for the country, and your vote counts. Every vote makes a difference. Go out and vote. The Prime Minister candidate calling in people individually and telling them that in a personalized manner. That was the hallmark of the campaign. And this is just one example of personalization. Shaul was telling me that he got a tweet from the Prime Minister. Thank you for supporting. Many such instances, personalization to a next level. That requires a lot of data. Cannot happen overnight. 3 years went into preparing that data. With the scale and size of India, you had to know your data very well. The kind of data we have is a CMO's treasure hunt. It's beautiful about the country. I mean, we know every single nook and corner demographics of the country today. And a lot of hard work has gone into it. Last, I would like to talk about a great innovation we did. And I know somebody asked me this question. What was this Star Warish thing you did? We didn't fight a Star War. We created 3D holograms. Now, this 3D technology has never been used anywhere in the world before like the way we did it. But we perfected it after experimenting with it. I said we played a lot of quarterfinals and semifinals before we went into the finals. Something we used in the elections before, in the provincial elections. We understood what are the changes to be made, perfected it for the finals, which was the national elections last year. 3D. Why it is required? Why was it done? The scale. You're talking about the last 50 days of elections. Everybody wants to see the candidate, build a rapport. It's physically impossible for the candidate to go to so many locations simultaneously or sequentially. So what we would do is every evening, the Prime Minister candidate would stand up on a stage and talk. And we would create 3D stages across 100 to 150 locations and replicate that event in 100 to 150 locations every time. And ensure this became a public event like this. So imagine instead of me standing here and talking to you, you were listening to me in a 3D hologram. And this